Hello and welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and now that I've gone through my favorite films of 2019, it's time to look forward and think about what are going to be the best films of 2020. And if you haven't watched my best films of the decade, please go check those out. I went through and did my top 10 films from 2010, 2019. It's a lot of fun, so go click over. You can watch those when you're done. There'll be a link at the end as well. But right now, it's time to look forward. And the year 2020 has a lot of movies. And as I compiled this video and did all my research, I'm not that excited this year. I mean, I was going through thinking, like, what movie out of all these I'm about to bring you am I most excited for? And I'm still undecided. I'm gonna go through it with you, and I'll make a decision at the end, and I hope you will too. What film do you think will be the most exciting or the best of 2020? Let's go through it together. All right, so there's a list here I grabbed from Wikipedia to just sort of put them all in one place. So far, we've had Bad Boys for Life, which I would argue is definitely the best film of the year, but there's been 5 major releases. And Underwater was better than expected, and I know I didn't hate Dolittle as much as everyone. Yes, there's a dragon farting at the end. Everyone's treating it like it's the worst film ever made. There have been millions of worse kids films. Arctic Dog. So, I mean, we could go on and on and on. Cat in the Hat. Dolittle is harmless. My kids loved it. But anyway, it will not be on anyone's best of the list by far. Bad Boys for Life, though, very surprising and doing really well. And then coming up very soon, we will start seeing The Gentleman, as well as Birds of Prey. That's coming up very soon. And then we got Sonic the Hedgehog. That's very exciting. But look, those are obvious ones. These are now I'm going to start with some ones that are coming out that you may be paying attention to, but I'm more excited for. First up, Fantasy Island. I didn't think I would be into this, but Blumhouse is putting together this interesting. Is it a reboot of the show? I don't know, but this idea where a horror film where you go live out your craziest fantasy, but then turns out they're going to wreck you because it's someone else's fantasy to destroy all these people's fantasies. It just looks really creepy. It's a clever concept. I'm excited for it. The trailer's really fun. I love Michael Pena. This one I hope can be a little bit of a surprise for us. So Fantasy Island, definitely looking forward to it. And then another one that I know people aren't talking about, but looks very interesting. It's called Downhill. And it's from Jim Rash and Nat Faxon, which you may recall did The Descendants. They're great screenwriters and actors in their own right, and they got both Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus to do this sort of dramedy, dark comedy, Downhill, a different kind of disaster movie about how if you see the trailer, a avalanche hits and he goes for the phone instead of his kids and his wife. And then sort of they go off on their own journey. It looks funny. It looks like it's going to be intriguing, and I love those two. So Downhill, another one that I hope is something that will stick through the rest of the year. Then Elizabeth Moss in The Invisible Man, also from Blumhouse. What a cool, creepy way to redo Invisible Man. Now, I remember Hollow Man from Paul Verhoeven and Kevin Bacon. It was a similar idea of what if the Invisible Man was just sort of crazy and creepy, but never really went as dark as I think it could have. And this is a brilliant idea. What if this ex-boyfriend's just destroying your life and torturing you and ruining everything because they're invisible to come back and haunt you? It's creepy. It looks cool. It looks scary. I'm on board. So 2 Blumhouse movies in the month of February that I'm excited for: Fantasy Island and Invisible Man. So that's what we have in The Call of the Wild, the Harrison Ford film that's directed by Chris Sanders. I don't know, but look, I'm old. I cry because it's a dog and Harrison Ford getting old, so I can relate. We'll see if that one actually works. From 20th Century Studios now, not 20th Century Fox, but Disney leaving that one go. And Emma, the other film from Anna Taylor-Joy involved in that film. But those are sort of the main releases. Then we go on to March, and it's time to move onward as we get the latest Pixar film. This is going to be a good year for Pixar. 2 original films this year from Pixar. This one looks like it's going to be a fun adventure, but also very sad. The film is about Pete Docter, the director, lost his father and found this tape. It's Dan Scallion. Pete Docter did, sorry, I mixed them up. But he had this tape of his dad who died. It never heard his voice until he played the tape. It inspired him to sort of make this movie about what if these 2 elves could see their dad for one day, but then they mess up the spell and only get the top half of them. So they go on a mission to attempt to fix the spell and get one last day with their dad. It's just, of course, Disney and parents, right? But I think this could be a lot of fun. Looks like a really cool world to live in. Original characters, Chris Pratt, Tom Holland. They have got great chemistry. You can just tell in the trailers. Julia Dreyfus back as the mom. I'm excited for Onward. That opens up in March. And then we got Bloodshot with Vin Diesel. The trailer's kind of cool. Basically this idea of kind of Memento. What if you are brought back to sort of it's RoboCop in a way, but they sort of tell you, oh, this is the person that killed your wife. You go, of course, off the rails, kill the guy who killed your wife, and then suddenly you shut down, wake back up, and now go through the same thing, and they tell you someone else killed your wife. And they're basically using him and his superpowers and all the stuff to sort of go seek revenge and kill people. And then can he fight back? It looks kind of cool. I have to say, it could be an interesting new franchise for Vin Diesel. We shall see, but promising trailer. And I like the idea of it. So I'm excited to see what else that can happen. Another film that comes out that month, The Way Back. Start with Ben Affleck, directed by Gavin O'Connor. It's a sports sort of drama, but a really good trailer. He's sort of down and out alcoholic, Ben Affleck, and then has to sort of come back and help this team. It's that type of movie, but it looks like it could be pretty good. Same with First Cow, an A24 movie that just go watch that trailer. It looks very interesting about the sort of this dairy cow that comes into the American Revolutionary War. I forget when, but cows weren't in America, and so the chef who wants to be chef figures out the cow. Anyway, it looks really surprisingly good. A24 can make a movie about a cow, and we're suddenly all interested. So those are Bloodshot, and then we have A Quiet Place 2. The trailer looks fantastic. I love John Krasinski's back right away and puts Emily Blunt straight forward in the starring role. That's shot with the bus coming at her. I loved Quiet Place 1, Surprise Sleeper. I think this one could do very well as well. We shall see, but I'm excited for part 2 of A Quiet Place. And then rounding out March, we got Disney Mulan. This is the first Disney live-action remake that I'm actually kind of excited for. I think the trailers look great. I love that they aren't doing the music. They're making it its own serious adaptation of sort of the real folklore legend of Mulan, and it looks beautiful. So I'm on board with this one. I think the trailer was great. The instrumental version of Reflections was just a brilliant way to sort of get that in there, but make it its own. So sign me up for Mulan. I think that one, I hope, could be Disney's first foray into live action that we go, all right, well, that made sense. That was a different version. That worked. Then we have the New Mutants in April. Starting off in April, New Mutants comes out. We shall see if this is any good. I'm going to say indifferent, but we shall see. I don't think it's going to be terrible, but I don't think it'll be great. I think that was okay. Which is still probably better than I think a lot of the word of mouth that they sort of unfairly got early on. But I'm curious to see how that ends up. A horror Marvel movie. I'm intrigued, so we'll see. Then there comes The Lovebirds from Michael Showalter, who directed Kumail Nanjiani in The Big Sick. He's teaming up with Issa Rae, who's obviously very in right now. And they're very popular comedians, and this trailer just looks really funny. They're on a date, and they run over someone. Someone takes the car while they're in it, and then runs over somebody, goes on a high-speed chase, then disappears, and they're sort of left with the aftermath, and then run away from the crime, and now they're wanted. It looks like it's just a crazy scenario, but with two really funny people. R-rated comedy that I'm intrigued by, and I love what Michael Showalter did with My Name Is Doris and then The Big Sick. So I'm excited to see him continue sort of into these comedies. So The Lovebirds looks surprisingly funny. Also in April, No Time to Die. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna watch it. Am I excited? Meh. I don't like that it's like bringing back all the elements of Spectre. So that worries me because I don't remember anything from that movie. But apparently it's bringing in all those threads. I like Rami Malek. I like Ana de Armas. It could be, we'll see it, but it's not one I'm like dying to see. I hope it surprises me. Then May, Black Widow. Was there anything else in April I skipped? Just to sort of, I'm trying to go through the main ones, but yeah, that's pretty much Trolls. Then this movie, Monster Problems with Michael Rooker, and we got Antlers, and I don't think any of that's going to be good. And then Eric Andre is doing a movie called Bad Trip. We'll see. I haven't learned much about it, though. But then, obviously, Black Widow. Look, I've been honest. I'm not that excited for Black Widow, but I'm going to give it a shot. If it's anything like Winter Soldier and they can sustain that sort of try and twist, then great. I just think they have a lot to, a tough hill to climb because we know the ending. This is a filler chapter to a story we've already told. It's a little too late for me. I'm going in. I do like her. I like David Harbour. Everyone's like, Taskmaster, Sure, he looks cool, but I'm not like dying to see this one. So we shall see, but I'm sure a lot of people are. I'm honestly more excited to watch Scoob. Looks adorable. I love that they're bringing in sort of all the other Hanna-Barbera characters, Captain Falcon and Dastardly Muttley, all that stuff. I'm excited. I think the animation looks pretty great. I like the trailer. I think there's going to be more surprises in store. I hope this is actually fun for kids and for grown-ups. Scoob, I'm excited for. Then we got The Women in the Window, which is coming from... who made this one? Yeah, this is Joe Wright. It's Amy Adams, Gary Oldman, so it's a good cast. Anthony Mackie, thriller mystery. I didn't find much about that one. I don't know much, but that's on deck. And then we also have Furious 9. Fast, I think they're calling it Fast and Furious 9. They change the titles all the time. It's so hard to tell. But they're dropping the trailer in a week or so, January 31st. They'll finally announce that, but due in May, so it's a little bit, I was wondering, is this still happening? But we'll have a lot more information on the 31st to know if we should be excited or not. I know John Cena has been added. I think Charlize might be back. Again, I do like the franchise. It's getting a little odd now that we've lost Paul Walker and now that The Rock's gone. I don't know how excited I am. But Furious 9, definitely one I'm paying attention to. Then we have Artemis Fowl, Disney movie. It's based on books I'm not familiar with, but it's SpongeBob movie. Those could be big potentially. But then obviously the next big one we got is Wonder Woman 1984 coming in June. Very excited. I'm excited for this one. I love the first one. I do like Patty Jenkins a lot. This is definitely one of the most anticipated for me. I'm so curious to see if DC can hit it again, or if this one's going to be a step backwards. But I do think the Kristen Wiig as Cheetah casting could be intriguing. Pedro Pascal, I'm on board. I think this could be a fun one. I love that they brought Chris Pine back, and it sounds like there actually is a reason for it. So I'm intrigued and excited for Wonder Woman 84. And then in June, Wonder Woman leads the front that month. But then comes another original Pixar, Soul, which looks like a sort of companion piece to Inside Out, where we sort of this jazz musician falls through a sewer grate and seemingly dies, but then his soul is left in this new world. What happens then? I'm intrigued. Anything like that, sign me up. Original Pixar, especially when they can get emotions. Inside Out was brilliant. It'll be impressive if they can do it again. But I'm intrigued and excited for Soul coming out in May. In June. And then we have this one. I don't know much about it, but I do like Pete Davidson's comedy. And Judd Apatow hasn't made a good movie in a while, so maybe this is the time. They're teaming up. Judd Apatow loves finding sort of that new person to debut. That's sort of his style. And so Judd Apatow has written and directed with Pete Davidson this movie. It's called King of Staten Island, loosely based on his life living out there, struggling as a young man with his mother, played by Marissa Tomei. It's inspired by the star's experience growing up in the Bureau. And I'm intrigued. Those are two, look, I think Judd Apatow can make a great movie. Trainwreck. But I'm curious to see if I think people give Pete Davidson a bum rap. I do think he can be funny, and who cares who he's dating? Here's his chance to shine in a movie. We'll see if this takes off or not, but I am intrigued to watch this. It'll open up South by Southwest in 2020 on March 13th, and then apparently opens wide unless they moved it June. Then Tom Cruise is back, baby. Top Gun Maverick. I mean, sure. It's not one I was like, I need to see another Top Gun. Top Gun was a product of its time. I think it worked well in its time. That soundtrack still holds up, though, tremendously. But I love Tom Cruise in movies. I do. I think he's a good movie star. I think he makes exciting movies, Mission Impossible, etc. If he thinks there's a story to tell here, great. But I do wonder, is this just an excuse to get back in the planes and do cool shots? I don't know. So I hope it's fun. I hope it's cool. But Top Gun Maverick opens. Are you excited for this one? Let me know. Also, In the Heights. This is from the people who made Hamilton and the director of Crazy Rich Asians. This is going to be, I think, a pretty popular musical for the summer. I do think this will do really well. It's a pretty popular musical, Broadway musical, and the music's pretty good. So with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I just think the trailer actually got me. I think this one could be a nice summer pleaser for a lot of people. So In the Heights, I think, don't underestimate that one for box office this summer. And then in July, we have Free Guy. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. This one could be the surprise smash that we just sort of didn't see coming. That could become a franchise of its own. But the video game extra in a world named Guy, played by Ryan Reynolds, who decides to sort of get upgraded and figure out how to play the game himself. or escape. Who knows? But I liked it. The world needed a hero. They got a guy, Free Guy. He's like an extra life. This trailer was really funny. Ryan Reynolds is just hot right now, and he's always so on top of it. So Free Guy is another one of my top list of anticipated that I'm excited for, and they're giving it that 4th of July weekend. So they must feel pretty good about this movie. So Free Guy, look forward to that. If you haven't watched the trailer, go check it out. Then also Ghostbusters Afterlife. I am very excited, intrigued for this one because this could go either way. This could be a train wreck, another one, or it could be finally. This was so fun and refreshing to see them do this right. Jason Reitman, I think, has something to prove. He's doing his dad's movie. Obviously nepotism, but still, I think that's pressure for him in a way. So I'm excited to see what they came up with. I hope they pull it off. Now they're talking about, though, this is the springboard, and then they're going to incorporate the lady Ghostbusters. I don't know. Let's just focus on this one first. That's why I didn't want to do that story, because I don't know how true and all that stuff is. In success, we'll see. But let's hopefully see if it's successful, if it works. And then also Tenet. Christopher Nolan is back, finally, with a new sci-fi thriller. The trailer's cool. I saw the opening prologue in IMAX, and it was exciting. It's another weird sound mix by him, but look, I'll see anything crazy he does, especially with a sci-fi twist. So I'm very intrigued and excited for Tenet. I hope that does deliver like Inception did. Also, Jungle Cruise. This is also coming out in July. Look, I like the trailer. It looks like a good, like Pirates of the Caribbean. The first one was actually pretty fun. This one could be another similar sort of feel. I think Emily Blunt and Dwayne Johnson have good chemistry. Clearly, there's a lot of money on the line for Disney for this one to work, so I think they're really putting at it. Will this be a good crowd pleaser for families? Seems so. There's not a lot of stuff coming out after it, so they're coming out the end of the summer to sort of win this end of the summer with huge names. All the money and marketing Disney's going to put at it. I hope it's fun. We shall see. But Jungle Cruise definitely could be on the top 10 of the year. And then I'm very excited for August. I'm going to start slowing them down because some of these movies get pushed in the release. Bill and Ted Face the Music. They're shooting. Director of Galaxy Quest, Dean Parisot, is doing it. I am very, very intrigued. Now, this could be a disaster just like Anchorman 2 or Dumb and Dumber 2. But I think this could be fun. I'm excited. Bill and Ted Face the Music coming out in August. Now, there's some other stuff coming out in July and August that I'll just sort of skim through. We have The Purge 5. Some of these could all change, mind you. Bob's Burgers, the movie. I don't watch the show, so I'm not as excited, but I know some people are. Morbius. When I watched that trailer before Bad Boys, I was like, man, this isn't very exciting. Who cares? So they got a lot to prove, but at least they're trying to connect the MCU the best they can. Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. The trailer was really annoying, but I do like it's Kristen Wiig's back writing with Annie. They did Bridesmaids, so they're in it and starring in this sort of weird comedy. So look, I like them. We'll give them a shot. Damon Wayans Jr., Wendy McKelvey, Jamie Dornan. We shall see if that works. And then Infinite. I don't know this movie. Antoine Fuqua. John Lee Hancock wrote it, but it's got Mark Wahlberg, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Jason Mantzoukas, who's really funny. That could be interesting. Sci-fi thriller. I couldn't find that much about it. Same with Malignant from James Wan, but I'm sure that could be a big horror film of the year. And then we have, I don't know, Nobody. There's a bunch of weird movies coming in August that I'm not familiar with. Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, the sequel. I liked Hitman's Bodyguard with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson. They're bringing Salma Hayek back. Morgan Freeman's in it. Antonio Banderas. This could be a fun little sleeper franchise for them if this works, because I know they shoot it cheaply and quickly. But I'm sure it won't be top of the summer, but we shall see if it works. And then coming in September, I didn't grab any pictures because I don't know if Kingsman, The Kingsman, annoying title, but it's the sort of prequel to Kingsman. And then we have The Trial of the Chicago 7 from Aaron Sorkin doing it with Sacha Baron Cohen, Eddie Redmayne, huge cast. A lot of other people in there, as you can see, Michael Keaton, etc. That could be huge. But again, haven't seen much. Then we have David Chase's long in production, The Many Saints of Newark, which is sort of its Sopranos prequel, directed by Alan Taylor with Joe Bernthal and a lot of other people in there. We shall see if that actually pulls off and is as good. Comes out finally. And then apparently we have an Edgar Wright written directed film called The Last Night in Soho, starring Thompson McKenzie from Jojo Rabbit and Anna Taylor-Joy, Matt Smith, Terrence Stamp. So we shall see. And then some other stuff that all probably could change. But then in October, we have Venom 2. which I'm very, very intrigued to see if they can pull off with Andy Serkis. And similar from not last October, but previously, the other big movie that year was Halloween. Halloween Kills is being shot by David Gordon Green and Danny McBride back with writing, and Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, they're all back as well. So we shall see if that actually pulls off. There's a couple other films here. Zemeckis has a film on deck with The Witches. Kenneth Branagh's doing Death of the Nile. And then we have Snake Eyes, the Snake Eyes spinoff from G.I. Joe. And a lot of other stuff until November when we get the Eternals, which I want to see a trailer. I want to learn more before I get excited for it. But if that can pull it off, that would be a huge win for Marvel. But I'm still very on the fence as to whether that's going to work. We got a Matt Damon drama. We got another Ben Affleck drama, Deep Water, from Adrian Lyne. And we got Godzilla versus Kong. Again, I want to see the trailer. This could be epic. This could be blast, or it could be terrible. So we shall see once we see more for it. But that is on deck to come out in November. And then Raya the Last Dragon, an original animation from Disney. I'm on for this one. The fan art looked cool. We don't know much. But I love that they're doing an original fantasy film. We shall see. Escape Room 2, yada, yada, yada. Dune. Whoo! This one could be massive. From Denis Villeneuve, I think this one could be huge, or it could fall apart and not get a broad audience like Blade Runner 2049 did. But I'm excited to see this one. And then we have West Side Story, the musical coming from Steven Spielberg, and a lot of sort of smaller tier cast, including Ansel Elgort. And then Tom and Jerry, what? Live action. The Croods, too. And then we have a few movies here that I wanted to point out. The Last Duel from Ridley Scott just got dated for the end of December, starring Adam Driver, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck coming back. It's a film, it says here, set in the 14th century France. It's an epic tale of betrayal, justice told from three distinct points of view. Two knights, Driver and Damon, whose bond is tested by treachery, and a young woman forced to navigate the brutal, oppressive culture of the era in order to survive. It's written by the book. There's a popular book by it. The novel. This is all, but this is also, I think, isn't this written by that? There is a novel about The Last Duel. And then Ana de Armas is doing a film in November called this is The Deep Water with Ben Affleck. So those were dated. And then we had Chris Pratt's Tomorrow War. We don't know much about it. But it's coming out Christmas Day, is what they've set it for. Formerly titled Ghost Draft, it follows a man, played by Pratt, who's drafted to fight a future war in which the fate of humanity may rely on his ability to correct issues of the past. J.K. Simmons, sign me up. Chris McKay, who did the Batman Lego movie, is doing this. I'm a big fan of his, and so I think this could be a lot of fun. Hopefully this is a big surprise new franchise for Chris Pratt. And then ending the December, here's a set photo from Coming to America. Arsenio and Eddie are back. Tracy Morgan and what's her name? Leslie Jones is back as new cast members in this one. So Coming to America, the sequel, I just loved it, the first one, so much that I will see it. I hope it's not a disappointment. I hope this and Bill and Ted could be ones that come back and are worthy. But there you have it. Those are the films of 2020. What are you most excited for? Now, I told you at the end I would put mine. I mean, it's hard to, near the second half of the year, it's hard to sort of predict because some of those we don't know a lot. I hope Tomorrow War is like a cool surprise. And I hope Coming to America and Bill and Ted really work. And Venom 2 could be a surprise. Raya could be a good animation. But I got to go with Free Guy. Probably is going to be the funnest, biggest surprises. And then Wonder Woman 84, I'm really excited for. And both those Pixar, Soul and Onward, I think could be really great. Which one will be better? I gotta go on record. Let's go with Onward. I think they'll both be good. We'll see. And then Tenet, I'm gonna go make a prediction that it's not great. What do I know? And then Ghostbusters. Let's hope it's good. I'll say it's good. It's gonna be good. And those are the ones I'm looking forward to. So there you go. I made a decision. But you tell me down below, what are you most excited for? What did I miss? Tell me the one you're like, this is the one that's going to be the best of the year. Give me two. One, the commercial success, blockbuster success, and what you think will be your favorite of the year. I think from a commercial success, I think Wonder Woman will deliver this year. I do think that's going to come together. And I think Free Guy could be surprising because it's a family film. It's Ryan Reynolds. It's 4th of July weekend. This is tough. Looking at these movies, I'm scrolling through them all. I'm going to go Wonder Woman. I'm going to go with Wonder Woman as the movie of the year from a budget standpoint. What do you think? Tell me down below and share your thoughts with me on social as well. But there you have it, 2020 coming soon. Are you excited? I want to hear all about it. Your favorite, personal choice for favorite, and box office prediction for favorite. All down in the comments to engage. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Join the community here at Popcorn Planet. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more videos very soon. Bye, everybody. Oh, and watch my Best of the Decade series if you haven't already. Thanks, everybody. Bye.